Hey guys, it's Dave from Two Average Dudes. Michael, pipe in a second. So, in December, mid-December of this year, and it's still this year, um, there was a law passed that police can stop you and demand a breathalyzer. I'm going, well, wait a second. Before they had to make a legal stop. Like there had to be some grounds to it. So it wasn't a point that they could just pull anybody over and do that. There had to be suspicion or some reason for them to pull you over. And now they don't have to have one. And they can pull you over and demand one. Now, the good side is that might deter drinking and driving. Um, and I agree with that. You know, there is a lot of drinking and driving that goes on. And they say in roadside tests, I think it's 50%, some police stations say 50% of people that are drinking and driving, the police officers don't pick up on them, you know, through their breath or whatever, or through their actions. Now, I think that's a little inflated, but that's just me. I think 50% is a pretty high number. And if you pull them over suspecting something, or you suspect they're drinking or whatever, well, you should be giving them a breathalyzer. Pretty simple. You pull them over. Like, uh, that's how I say, how do they get that 50%? So, with pulling a person over under the Canadian, was it? I wrote down the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Everyone has the right to be secure against unreasonable search and seizure. And I am one for a person's rights. I believe government has their fingers in everything. You know, and now for any reason they can pull you over and say, "Oh, we want to do a breathalyzer," but well, they have you over. There's a lot of other stuff that can go on too. So I don't like that portion of it. I believe that if you're caught doing something, you take the hit for it. But until then, preventive measures and everything else should be in play. And I think that it's the government's way on crapping on us. I don't see any other way. You know, it's Trudeau has dropped his pants and taken a big crap right on everybody's head in Canada. That's the way I see it. You know, here's your rights. Now I'm going to crap on them. You know, I know it's going to go to court if it hasn't already, and I know somebody's going to challenge it because it's unconstitutional. And when governments are making laws that are unconstitutional, well, there's something wrong with the government because they know it's against the Constitution. They shouldn't be doing it. What's your take on it? I think it's disgraceful, and I think that if they're so worried about drinking and driving, well, guess what? Maybe they should ban alcohol. You know, let's be honest. You're not going to stop some things. You're not going to stop people from driving when they're high or drunk. You're just not going to stop things. It's life. It's nature, and I don't believe that my rights as a Canadian citizen, should be stomped on, crapped on, to protect others. No, no, no. They're my rights. They're my rights. Not, you know, I don't have to share them with people. I don't have to give up my rights to for other people. No, they're my rights. People have to deal with things on their own. And you know what? Police have to figure out a better way to do things. And the government, stop crapping on me. Like, stop taking my rights. Stop. You know what? It seems like Trudeau is doing everything he can to belittle everybody in Canada, like to make them feel like a little child where we're dependent on the government. I am not dependent on the government. I don't need the government for anything. You know, give me a little cabin in the middle of the woods and I'd be happy. I can look after myself. I don't know. Guys, what do you think? Mike, what do you think? Is Trudeau dropping his pants and taking a big dump on our heads or what?
Hey Dave, if drinking and driving is so bad and they're so worried about that, they're going to pry into people's lives like this and privacy and take their rights away, why don't they just make it so every car has to have that breathalyzer thing in it? You know, we have to wear seatbelts. Children have to be in car seats. Why don't we just say anybody who drives a car now has to blow in the little blower tube to make the car start? It's that simple. First off, there's no police manpower to do it. You don't miss anybody. It doesn't cost any money. It simply goes into the car by the manufacturer. The same way they're doing texting and driving now. They're making the cell phone providers put in little apps and monitors so it tells when you're driving so you can't be on your phone. So why don't we just put something in the car that says you got to breathe into it before you go? That way your car will start. It's that simple. There's no more debate than that. If you're so worried about drinking and driving, and there's so many deaths and so many unreported people getting arrested for this, just stop it by putting it in the car. I'd rather have to blow into my car every time before turning it on as opposed to getting my rights violated by what they're trying to do now. Because they keep pulling people over for that stuff just for the sake of, oh, I'm going to give you a breathalyzer test, it's going to pull over for that. They'll find other things, they'll be looking for other things, they're just going to cause nothing but havoc anywhere. So why they haven't thought of this simple solution? Every car needs a breathalyzer blower thing to get into before you go. Test to make sure I'm not high or alcohol and all that stuff. And that's how you stop it. Plain and simple. You got a problem with it, people, you know, there's no other way. That's the only way to stop drinking and driving related deaths. Anyway, guys, hope you liked the video. Give thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.